I'm now joined by Marc Stuart, the co-founder of Eco Securities. Welcome to the summit.
Thank you.
We just heard the governor speak above us in the screens. And
yeah, he's going along, isn't he?
He sure is. Tell me about Eco Securities.
We are the largest, or one of the largest, developers of carbon credits around the world, particularly from the UN Clean Development Mechanism process. We have offices all over the world, and their main job is to source emission reductions, and we qualify them into the Kyoto Protocol process, and we trade them on our own account.
Give us a basic rundown of what carbon credits are. Not all our viewers may be familiar with that.
Well, it's essentially taking any particular asset or potential asset and reducing its emissions against what would be called business as usual. So a landfill gas may be bleeding methane uncontrolled. We, or the partners we work with, would go in and would capture that methane and would flare it, so reducing the greenhouse gas of that. It could be efficiency on you might have a steel plant that is using X amounts of coal per ton of steel it's produced. Put in a heat recovery unit or some other efficiency measure, and it's now X minus Y tons of coal per ton of steel. You can capture Y as an emission reduction credit. Renewable energy is a very classic example. Wind power projects, anything that reduces emissions against an average that is denoted. And there's a whole very detailed process through the UN system on which this occurs. This is not just something you claim on your own. Has the potential of reducing emission reductions, but the majority are in energy, in methane capture, and in a few industrial gases.
I guess this is a relatively new industry. What kind of challenges do you face?
Well, the challenges are that we have regulatory uncertainty. There are great challenges. The UN system, it's a new business, as you just know. It's not that new. I mean, the first projects were being registered 5 years ago. In many scales, that's quite new, but in ours, that seems a lifetime ago. And we have issues in which projects, that the regulatory process has gotten it's been so successful in some ways that things have gotten much slower. Things we used to think would take 90 days to register sometimes take more than a year. Rules and regulations around how things are documented seems to often be a moving target, and that's a challenge. As a business, you need to have some sort of certainty around how you allocate your capital. And when you allocate your capital, it's towards something that you think you're going to achieve environmental value out of, and it takes much longer, or you get much less because of a change of the rules. That's a challenge you have to manage around. But it's we've done it fairly successfully, and we continue onward.
Great. You're here at the conference.
Yep.
Why was it important for you to be here?
This is a fascinating gathering that the governor puts on. We were here last year, and we find that the idea of sort of subnational initiatives has some intrigue. It doesn't work within the current environment. What was created by Kyoto 12 years ago is very much a national basis. But as things go towards Copenhagen and beyond, there certainly is the potential for the subnational component to be a more substantial, I hate to use the word again, component of how policy works. And so we track these things. Obviously, any time we can get ourselves in front of people that are willing to listen to our issues around how the system has, on the one hand, been extraordinarily successful in terms of uptake, but on the other hand has been very unsuccessful in terms of process and protocol. You get decision makers and people that are saying, oh, well, we're practitioners. We want to communicate what we've learned so that the next iteration of policy can be more successful.
Marc Stuart, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Bye-bye.